Mr. Flo. I fell on my head. What's wrong? Somebody tell me, please tell me what's wrong. Somebody tell me.
People watching the video will be going live in about 2 minutes. And they can hear the music too, so they're not bored just looking at our faces.
Hanging over my front door. Got some goofer dust sprinkling on my floor. Got a skeleton head I wear around my side. If that don't bring good luck, I think I need to die. What's wrong?
It is all music I grew up with when I was a kid.
Tell me.
Especially, I listened to music. My brother's 5 years older than me, so I used to listen to music he listened to.
Or even my kids love older music. That tells you how good it was.
Well, the whole thing too is the new stuff. You don't even understand what they're saying.
Right. And there's a lot of violence that I don't like.
Yeah.
When I grew up, it was all...
I could never understand how a woman would listen to music that they're saying all kinds of cursing women out and talking about like God. Why would they hang around with a guy that listens to that?
Yeah, well, it's a crazy world.
It sure is.
Getting crazier all the time.
There's 2 microphones up, center and right. Table right.
Clammed up in a tree.
Yeah, I didn't remember if I put both of them up.
Foot slipped off the limb. I fell on a guy. They put me in jail for disturbing the peace. I'm sugar boy, but my sugar ain't sweet. What's wrong? What's wrong? Somebody tell me what's wrong. Tell me, please. Won't somebody please tell me? Tell me what's wrong with me.
Really? That's interesting.
KPFFLP, Pahrump, Nevada. Statements and opinions made on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its affiliates. Fighting corruption with Anthony Greco. Fighting government corruption, the real gangsters.
Greetings from corrupt Nye County. I am Anthony Greco, and this is my program. Today, I always tell you when things are going wrong in the community. Well, today we're going to talk about things that are going right in the community. And I have a guest, Gary, is here, and welcome him. I met him when we did the car show a couple of weeks ago, and then yesterday was the poker run down at Coyote Den, and he was there again. And he has a not-for-profit that he's doing to help the community, and I want him to be able to talk about it. If anybody has any questions for him, it's 775-751-2579. Just let him get rolling, and then when you have any questions, just call in if you like. Gary, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Okay, so why don't you give somebody, the people, your background, and then let them know why you got involved in this.
Oh, wow. Well, I put 40 years in the grocery business in Southern California, and I retired in 2003, moved to Arizona, and in my retirement, I had to have something to do, and so I actually went to work in the corrections department, which brought me to Pahrump, because they built one here in town, and
oh, CCA?
CCA, it's all CoreCivic now, and I came as a guard, and I just did it for a couple of years more, because it was a retirement job, and then I decided to go ahead and pack it in. So I left there and worked a little while at Home Depot, but then I got a job out at Mountain Falls Golf Club, and was the oldest cart boy out there. But I came across this organization. I listened to a program last July, I was leaving the VA clinic and had a radio station on, actually from a radio station in Las Vegas that I like to listen to, and they were talking about this gentleman named Luke Mickelson, who started this organization in Twin Falls, Idaho, and he just started this out of his garage. How many great ideas have started in somebody's garage, you know? Anyways, he had a church project that he was doing, and they built a bed, and they delivered it to this family that needed it. And his kids were kind of complaining a little bit about the presents that they weren't going to get for Christmas. It was around the holidays, and so he had some lumber left over, and he said, you know what? You kids, let's get out here right now. He said, we're going to build another bed. So they built another bed, put it on Facebook, and said, hey, does anybody need a bed? Bang. The whole community just lit up and said, this is such a great idea. Here's pillows, here's blankets, here's quilts, here's, let's come volunteer and help. And it just grew, and it grew, and it grew.
So this happened, that's like U-Haul. You know how U-Haul got started?
No.
Guy he was going to move, he built himself a trailer, and where he moved to, everybody used to ask him, can I borrow your trailer? And he started making more and more trailers and renting them out. That's how U-Haul got started. So let's hope this organization gets as big as U-Haul.
Well, I tell you what, it's getting bigger really fast.
Okay.
It's just blowing up across the United States. When I came on board a year ago, they were probably up to 20, 25 chapters.
Okay. So while everybody's hanging on the edge of their seat, tell them what the organization is.
Oh, I guess I should do that, huh? It's called Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and it was named because when it started, it was around the holiday time, and it fit because this is a organization that builds and delivers beds to children that don't have beds.
And people don't realize there are many children that sleep on the floor.
When I heard the numbers, I said, that can't be right. And guess what it is? I've talked to No to Abuse, I've talked to some of the high school principals and stuff like that, and they've all confirmed that we're actually higher than the national average as far as percentage of kids that are not in their own beds. So the national average is about 1%.
Okay.
And we're probably just under 40,000 here. I'm guessing. I don't know the exact number, but it's just under 40,000. So let's just say 40,000. That's 400 kids, and that's 1%. And people are telling me it's like 2% or so. So you're talking 500-600 kids right here in this valley that are not in their own beds for whatever reason. It's not their fault.
I was actually shocked. I never heard the term couch surfing before.
Yeah.
And I said, what is that? And when they told me, I actually didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
So we even have kids that aren't couch surfing but still don't have a bed.
That's right. And, what qualifies as not having a bed is anything other than a bed, obviously.
Exactly.
A mattress on a floor is not a bed. Being on the floor is not a bed. Being on the couch, sleeping with brothers and sisters, mom and dad, anything like that, that qualifies us.
And your organization, your chapter of this organization is going to try to put a stop to that in this community.
You know what? The longest journey begins with the first step. And we, you and me, can make a difference starting right now. And I'm so excited about it. And I just...
Yeah. No, when I saw what was going on, when I met you at the show down there, I said, well, no, we got to help do something here.
Right.
I may not be good with hammer and nails, but at least I can talk about it.
Yeah, no, what we do is we set up I'm probably getting ahead of myself here, but we set up a production line. We have a location, and so anybody can do this. Now, we do want the kids to be at least 12 years old, and they have to stay with their parents. But kids, men, women, and children, show up. We do it all the time. We got 3 or 4 people that are there almost every day, but we also have builds where we ask a bunch of people to come, which we've got one coming up.
And here's the thing that really sparked me, because when you turned around and told me about the Guinness World Book of Records, which I broke the Guinness World Book of Records in 1984, and I said, wow, what are you going to do to break the Guinness World Book of Records? So why don't you tell everybody that? So maybe we get some volunteers to come out and help.
Well, we've got quite a few, but I can, the more the merrier. I want as many people as possible. We're going to have media coverage. I'm going to have some food out there for people, and it would be nice to have so many people that they could give each other breaks on these stations. And, we'll figure it out. You just show
And
up.
it's going to be on Saturday, June 15th?
It's June 15th, which is a couple weeks away.
Oh, yeah.
And we're on the west end of town. And I'll go ahead and give you the address now. But
Yeah, give it a couple of times.
I'll give it again.
Sure.
It's 2731 South Wood Chips. So it's on the south side of 372.
Okay.
And Wood Chips is the street, the cross street is where the school bus barn is. That's Wood Chips.
Right.
So you can come in either way, and if you come in from 372, it's actually not paved the whole way.
Okay.
But it's paved where the house is, where we're...
Can they get there from Jaybird?
Yes.
Okay.
Jaybird, Gamebird.
So if they're coming from down south by me,
Right.
they can go Jaybird, and Jaybird will go all the way through from Blag? Or it breaks up?
You know what? I think it breaks up, but
Okay.
but if you GPS it, it'll take you. It'll
Okay.
take you all the way. And but it's 2731 Southwood Chips, and the cross street there is Wisteria.
Okay.
And we're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning, signing people in. Well, hopefully we'll be actually cutting wood at 9 o'clock at the latest. And
While you're giving the address, why don't you give your cell phone number so that way if somebody has a problem getting there, they can
Sure.
call you to get there?
absolutely, 702-539-9685.
Okay.
And you can text or call me.
Okay.
I also have a email address, which is gary.bennett@shpbeds.org.
Okay.
And
Yeah, don't be afraid to give that as many times as you want. It's not a problem.
It's SHP, like Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Right.
And then beds, BEDS.org, gary.bennett. Anyways, I'm excited.
Now,
It's just-
people could, can you get like, does Home Depot try to donate some wood to you?
You
Or
know,
they can't?
Here's the deal. If you go to our website, shpbeds.org, and up the top, there's some buttons that you can pull down, drawers, and one of them is major sponsors.
Okay.
And guess, one of our sponsors happens to be Lowe's,
Okay.
nationally.
Right.
So, Home Depot, unfortunately,
Doesn't get
the
involved.
manager here, I would love to do it, but their hands are tied. So I do shop there for some of my stuff, but I get most of my lumber and all that stuff from Lowe's over on Fort Apache.
Okay, now here's a question. Is there any way that you could set up something where somebody could go to the Lowe's on Fort Apache or use their Lowe's credit card to donate? You know, like when people get married and they tell you what the wish list is? Can you do that?
I would have to check with the manager, Leslie, over there at that store. Here's another thought. What I thought about doing is to have a lumber drive right here at Home Depot. And what I can do is have a list of stuff, pull up a trailer, and just sit there all day, and people go in and buy whatever they're going to buy,
And give it to you.
pick up one of the things on the list and come out and throw it on the trailer.
It's like when they do a food drive at
Yes.
Walmart, people come out with a couple of
Yes.
cans of food, give it to you.
Yes.
They can do that with wood.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we're going to try to do in the near future. Right now, we are very low on bedding. So we need sheets and blankets and comforters, pillows, twin size.
Now, we have an organization out here that make quilts.
Yes, Shadow Mountain Quilters
Okay.
donates to us.
Excellent.
God bless them.
Okay, great.
I love those ladies, and there's a couple men in there too.
Yeah. See, that's one thing about this community. If we could all work together,
Yes.
we can make it a better place.
And you know what? It's actually happening. Kudos to all the service organizations. I've had help from Rotary. I hope I don't leave somebody out here because I didn't make a list. Rotary, Kiwanis, Moose Lodge. The Elks is getting ready to give us something. So all these organizations are all
And you even had some help from the other radio station, Karen station.
KNYE's helped
That's
us
not
out.
wrong. You can say
Yeah.
that. The TV station.
Deanna at Channel 25,
Yes,
God
she's
bless
a good
her. I love her to death. And her daughter, Darby, has quality signs and banners. Actually, it's quality signs and designs now. Sorry, Darby. But they have just helped us out. They supplied everything we needed. I'm sure it's at cost because it's really good prices. Nevada Realty's helped us out with bedding drive they had before Christmas. I think they're doing another one right now. But I'm going to start going around and talking to all the businesses in town. I would love everybody to get involved somehow, either volunteer people or get out the checkbook. you can go to our website, shpbeds.org, and it'll ask you, do you want to donate to a specific chapter? And you can go. We're the only one in Nevada right now, but our chapter's called Nevada, Nye County. And if you go to that and then put in whatever, you can donate as little as $1. You know,
Every dollar helps. Let's put it this way: if everybody in the town gave $1, you got $40,000.
You just read my mind. I was gonna say those exact words.
I'm not really smart, because I'll tell you where that came from. Danny Thomas, who founded
St. Jude's
Hospital, he said when he was starting the hospital, if everybody that heard his voice gave him $0.25,
Right.
he could cure cancer in kids.
Well, there you go.
And when he first started, they were saving 1 out of 5.
Right.
Now they're saving 4 out of 5.
God bless him.
So he turned that right around.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. But you were reading my mind. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, if everybody just threw $1 or $5 at us, we could get so many kids off.
Can Walmart, have you gone to Walmart, see if they can give you a table out? You could let you use a table out there and just get a thing. People can throw bucks in there.
3 weeks ago, we were in front of Walmart with our booth, and yeah, we collected some money. We collected some bedding. So yeah, and other people here in Proper. That's one thing I love about this area. They're so giving, and so they want to help. And
it's small town.
It is.
That's why people move to small towns, because you know most of the people.
Well,
and what you need to do is you always have my number. So if you have an event coming up,
right.
I'll just turn around and let people know where you're going to be. It's not a problem.
I appreciate that.
So now, what kind of volunteers are you looking for June 15th?
People that are breathing.
Okay, so I could even do
Even
I could get the Rev to come with me, and Lazy Dog, and we can come over there, and even if we hand out water, we're good to go.
There's something for everybody to do. We have some power tools, so you got to be a little bit knowledgeable, but we measure and cut the wood, and then the next station we have power sanders, that the little orbital hand sanders, and we're going to have a couple of tables set up, and that's where the dog leg, the bottleneck really is in the sanding. It takes time to do that. I mean, it's just a light sanding, but we got to get those. We don't want any splinters. So, but once we get past that, then we have a tap jig where you set the wood down and you tap on it, and when you lift it up, there's little sharp spots that marks exactly where the holes have to be drilled.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same all the time.
So you're actually like an assembly line.
Yes.
You got it all set up like an assembly line.
And then we have 3 drill presses, and we'll be drilling holes, and then that wood gets stacked somewhere else. And then we have a template that you lay the wood in, and it's for the headboards and footboards.
Okay.
And you just lay it right in there. It lines everything up, and then you put some screws in there and flip it over and do a couple more boards, and now you're done with that. Now that goes to the staining room, which we stain. We have an eco-friendly stain, and it works really good. It's white vinegar in 5-gallon buckets that sit for 2 or 3 weeks, that has steel wool in it. And the vinegar breaks the steel down, and it gets a rusty color. And then we have some big tanks that we transfer that into, and we can actually dip this stuff down in, flip them over, and it stains them pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah,
they're dark. So, anyways, that and then we brand the beds. We brand them with an SHP. We actually heat up a brand and brand them, which is kind of the fun part of doing this.
And unfortunately, you have to do that for reasons so the beds don't get sold.
Well, you know what? Yeah. There's good parenting and there's not good parenting, but it's not the kid's fault, you know.
Exactly right.
So I try to not even think about that. I just want to help the kids.
Right. So now we have bedding going on, so we can actually get people that even want to show up so they could just see what's going on on that day.
Sure. I'll give them a tour.
Yeah.
Or they could even come before that day. If you want to call me, 702-539-9685. I will meet you out there, and I will give you a tour and show you what we're doing and how we're doing it and why we're doing it.
What I have to do is one day when you're going to do a tour, call me if I'm available. I'll come and videotape the tour.
Oh, awesome.
Put it up on YouTube.
There you go.
And you have a Facebook page. You can always drag it over
there you go.
to the Facebook
awesome.
page.
Yeah, I try to keep that.
You want as many people to see what you're doing as possible.
Yes.
And that's why we have a caller?
Yeah, let me get it ready.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, caller.
Hi, thanks. I'm listening to Gary, and I actually heard a little bit about this from Leandra.
You gotta talk closer into the phone. You come in very low for some reason on your phone.
Oh, how weird. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit.
Okay. I've been having problems today because of the weather, I think. But anyway, I was hearing about this program from one of the planning commissioners that is part of this organization, I do believe. And I heard Gary talk about children that are not sleeping in their own beds, living with their parents. We have some relatives in Nye County that take care of their grandkids or their relatives because they've been removed from their homes that might be in need of these beds. Would those people be included?
Stand by.
Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. I just got up to raise his volume on his headset so he could hear you a little bit better.
Okay.
Say that last part again.
We have children. I used to be a contact here in Nye County in Columbus, and we have a lot of homeless children, and we have children who have been removed from their homes for one reason or another that are living with relatives. And I was wondering if your beds could be used for those particular children as well.
Yes, absolutely. They don't have to be with their parents. They can be foster kids. They can be with relatives. If they've got a roof over their head, they've got a place that we can bring the bed, and they're between age 3 and 17. If they're not in a bed, they qualify.
I would like to give your information to Michael Payson. He is the supervisor of our DCSF office here in Columbus.
Well, why don't you take down his phone? Why don't you take Gary's phone number? He's going to give it to you now, so that way he can't do that right now. Give her your phone number, so.
Yeah, the phone number is 702 539 9685.
And Gary, what's your last name? Please?
Bennett. Bennett. 2 N's, 2 T's.
Bennett.
Correct.
Like Tony, you're related to Tony?
Yeah, Tony and I, we haven't got along for a while.
Okay. All right, I will pass on this information, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from somebody. I appreciate it.
If there's a need, they can go to the shpbeds.org website, which is our main website, and they can actually apply. Right on, there's a button there that says apply for bed, and then they'll put in their zip code, which will funnel it back to me. Are they here in Pahrump?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It'll come back to me, and then I'll call them, and we'll get together and start the process. And but yeah, just have them go to shpbeds.org, and they can apply for a bed and fill in the blanks, and we can get the thing started.
Okay. And I was wondering if there couldn't be something that we might work toward for them to have an amount of money that they might donate to have these beds.
Yeah, we just can't talk about money on a radio station because it's community, not commercial.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
all
so.
right.